I was hoping maybe you can get some specific example of maybe how you dealt with your boss. I think in the beginning of the session, or at least the first session, you talked about a very difficult boss who tried to change himself. So as a Christian or as a believer, if we have that kind of difficult person above us, what is our way, or like maybe more concrete, because I know in the Bible it's clearly say that we respect our authority, but in terms of in government setting, how would you, or how did you cope with him? What you did to change him or influence him?
Right. Very practical question. So I had my share of bad bosses. My current boss is a wonderful man, the best boss that I can ever hope for, the NASA administrator. But I think you have to really show your and if you do that, I'm here to support you, not promoting my own agenda, not promoting my own statue or whatever, then people by and large, they get it. That has been my experience. There are some nasty people out there, for sure, but they probably wouldn't recognize that you are being sincere, but in their heart, they know. That has been my experience. So the first, number one, is don't get agitated, don't get frustrated. As you said, Bible said, respect the world order. So you have to respect your boss, good or bad, but the first thing is trying to convey your sincerity that you are trying to help him or her, not pushing my agenda. And again, it comes from the humility again. I keep going back to that. And the second is try to put yourself in their shoes. So most practical advice that I can give you is you don't go there in boss's office with only problems. Because boss cannot help you. He or she doesn't know your problem. Intellectually, yes. But you are the expert. You know the best solution. So all I can do is messing with you. That, okay, tell me more about this. So trying to bring problem with 2 or 3 options, solutions. Otherwise, you're only a headache for that boss. And it's a human nature, right? If you only bring problems, then you start walking away. Uh-oh, that person is coming again. So you don't want to do that. And you have to, very practical, but you have to bring some solutions. And it cannot be one solution. Then you're not giving a room for that person to make a decision. Because it is your solution, and I don't like it. From the get-go, if that person is even a nasty person, from the get-go, whether that's a wonderful idea or not, because it's yours, I just don't like it. So you got to come up with 2 or 3 options. Give that person, your boss, this opportunity to weigh in and say, I think this is the best. So those are a couple, I hope those are practical, yeah, couple of things.
Oh, I think my question is related to the question you just asked, but more at the group level. So I think your definition of fairness is really just change the organizational culture and change definition of fairness in the organization.
Right. So especially in this, I mean, that's very tough. And in this world, everybody gets confused with equality and impartiality, really. I see that all the time. And in government, it's even more prevalent. So people are really worried about saying anything to thinking that, oh, I'm going to offend this person if I say something. So in government, I'm digressing a little bit. Forgive me, if you indulge me. We cannot even say Christmas party anymore. I'm not allowed to say Christmas party. I have to say holiday party. So because I'm going to offend Muslims and other religious people. So in this kind of very confused world, that fairness is equal to equality and impartiality and open and accommodating, everything's good. How do we practice that? You have to, I don't think there is any magic bullet here. You have to show by your deed. Again, it's somewhat ambiguous and it's going to take some time, but you have to believe in the system a little bit, keep some faith in the system. And it may backfire you first time, but if you are consistent, that's the key. That's the key in being fairness. If you flip-flop, at the workplace there is a saying that last man in the office, last man standing, right? So we have made a decision, but then you come in after the meeting, you're the last person who came into my office and talk about some other options, and I like you. So I reverse the decision and go with your recommendation. The whole rest of the people think that I'm just arbitrary. It's crazy. So the consistency is very important in practicing fairness, the kind of fairness that we're talking about. But then that consistency cannot come from me, because I am by definition imperfect, inconsistent person. I cannot be like a consistent person, really. I like people, this person better than this. I have all that, so I cannot be consistent. So that's why the principles need to come from Bible. And that sounds so abstract, but there are a lot of occasions that God taught me in those principles. By the way, this righteousness and compassion, that was illuminated to me by God when I got my previous position at headquarters, when I came here for a job interview. That's how he taught me in the morning when I was reading Bible before that interview, that you shall work in this place with righteousness and compassion. So I think he guides you. If you seek his wisdom, as I talked about, then he will guide you, not just complete abstractness, but you will hear some specific guidance. I'm not talking about hearing God all the time. I'm not going there either. But he impresses you in your heart and feeling like, okay, I'm getting the guidance. So I think if you consistently do that, he will speak to you, and that consistency will come from you. And then people will see that she is really consistent. Sometimes I don't like what she did and what she said, but she is right, because she is very consistent. The principle's right, and so I can't argue with her.